So many battles here on this road trip. What did you feel like the difference in the game was tonight, or was it just a couple shots going their way and some not going yours?
There's always things you can control. They did kick in a few shots that that wasn't their plan. You know what I mean? Now you can't use them as an excuse. They also had a lot of offensive rebounds. I think they're the best offensive rebounding team in the league, so we let them do one of their strengths. We could have controlled that, could have boxed out better. So yeah, there's definitely things you can control to do better. But yeah, you don't ever want to make excuses, so we'll definitely watch film, get better from it, be ready for Utah.
Kaysen had career-high 9 rebounds tonight and a couple of big threes. Obviously, scoring makes it maybe a little louder, but just how have you seen his growth over time since he's been here?
Yeah, Kaysen just has a knack for the ball, great hands, great player, really. Does all the little things to help a team win. Every team needs a guy like Kaysen.
What was your point of view of the Dillon Brooks skirmish?
A jump ball. Nothing else.
For Lou, he had 6 assists tonight, and just coaches giving him a lot of credit for how his decision making has improved over the course of the years. What's been your perspective sharing the floor with him and seeing
Yeah, he just he understands the game. Like Coach said, is getting better at decision making, getting better at picking his spots, shooting the shots he works on. Obviously, Lou is a big part of what we become, foundation-wise. But yeah, his growth has been it's been fun to watch.
What's your overall assessment of this road trip? I went 3-1.
Yeah, pretty good road trip. You never take winning on the road for granted. It's hard to do, especially in this league. Could have been 4-0, but we weren't for a reason, and we'll look at those reasons and try to be better.
What are some of the differences you've seen in this Houston Rockets team from last year to this year?
They look like they're the same team, but they build on what they had, you know what I mean? So they didn't make too many changes. They're not doing anything different. They just gotten better as a team. That speaks volume. You want to get better as a team, and I think they're doing a good job of it for sure.
Yeah, Shai, speaking of assessments, what is your assessment of Isaiah through his first 5 games with Thunder?
Isaiah Hart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. He good. Yeah, he's been really good. He affects the game at a super high level. Super skilled. Does all the dirty work. He's been huge for us, obviously. And he still is, like you said, his first 5 games, getting his feet wet, figuring things out. So I'm excited to see his growth from here on out.
Each of these games on the road trip kind of took their own life, took a life of their own, I should say. But what do you take from the trip as a whole, positives, and then things to continue to work on moving forward?
I think Mark hit it on the head with just we got better throughout the whole time being. Yeah, that's all I got.
The chemistry between you and Isaiah Hartenstein just continues to grow. I know that there's still more runway there, but some of those lobs that are just happening within the flow. Tell me about how that's coming together.
Just reading each other. We're in situations where we're even over screening, just trying to figure it out with each other. And when you have a smart screener that's willing to screen, it makes it pretty easy. And then he does a good job of communicating when we're in timeouts and even in the game on what he's seeing. And we both trust each other, so I trust what he sees, and he trusts me to make the play. But yeah, there's a lot of room to grow too. Obviously, you look at him in New York with Jalen Brunson, and just a lot of obviously Jalen Brunson's a good player, he's going to score regardless, but a lot of the screening actions that they had for him, he was able to free up and get him easy looks. So, we're trying to emulate that ourselves in our own kind of unique way, and he's done a really good job of figuring that out and figuring out how we play.
there's a lot of new things happening with that dynamic, of course. So this might not be that new, but I noticed on one of them, that side pick and roll, you kind of took an extra beat, just waited a little bit for that play to develop. Is that?
I like fake shot it.
Yeah, it was just kind of biding enough time for him to kind of curl up and open up. Is that instinctual, or is that something you guys have been working on?
I think for me, it's more of my read. I think like the midi, I can kind of shoot it at will. I think I've gotten very good at knowing when I can get that off and getting that spot. And a lot of that is credit to him. So a lot of it's like kind of like trying to reward him a little bit and play unselfishly. And when he gets in the pocket, you guys saw he like, I don't even know if he missed a floater today. So it's like he makes that at a high clip. And, you know, when somebody's screening for you that hard every play and not saying anything, you know, you try and give him, you know, a slice of the pie too. And, you know, like I said, he makes good reads out of it too. He doesn't always have to shoot it. He's a good passer, so.
You guys and Rockets have been on similar trajectories over the last couple of years, and now both of you guys are two of the best teams in the league. Does that kind of add competitiveness to these type of matchups?
Yeah, I don't even think it's because it's the Rockets. I think it's just because like where we're at in the standings, and it's cool to like watch their progression with ours. So I guess that does add a little bit of fire to it. But I think just in general, like where we are in the standings and how well each of the teams are playing, I think they're 2 in defense, something like that, and I think we're 1. So like that alone is competition enough, and obviously they're a young, good team, so it's fun to play them.
Anybody else?
Hey, shout out your tweet, by the way. You got me some free throws tonight.
Super hotly contested game, great energy from both teams. Did you notice anything that maybe made a difference in the game, or just a couple plays not going your way?
Really high level game. First of all, I thought both teams really competed. Very physical game, and both teams played really hard. I thought they threw the first punch physically, and we responded really well in the first half. At a time where the game could have gotten away from us, and we got control of the game for much of it. So a lot we can learn from playing in a game like that. So we got to learn from it, grow through it. But I think the trip in totality, we're a better team right now than we were 8 days ago when we took off for this trip. We went through a lot of different experiences that we can grow from some of the wins to tonight.
You talked about Kaysen just globally, bigger picture, being a significantly better player than last year. The rebounding tonight, just the margin plays to go with some of the shot making that we'd seen before. What'd you make of this game?
I mean, really, this whole trip, you know, he was really high level, you know, from the defense in these games to physicality plays. And his shooting, you know, this season has not been great yet. And I just thought our whole team on this trip, on a kind of a rough shooting trip, we showed great resilience to continue to shoot the good ones. He made a huge shot tonight that if we won the game, that would have been one of the shots of the night. And, you know, Mitchell the other night in LA was 1 for 8 against Golden State. He hit that one in the corner. Isaiah Joe was 0 for 6. He hits the one late in the game there. Dort has been in a little bit of a slump, dealing with his finger, and then he hits 4 of them the other night against LA. So I just think the mental toughness of the team was on display. Kaysen, you know, is in that category.
The not final possession, but possession where you guys are down and 22 seconds goes off. It's easy to second guess that after the fact, but like, what's the philosophy there with trying to get the steal and or going for the foul with the shot clock and game clock so close together?
Yeah, in an ideal world, we would have liked to foul earlier. Thought we had a couple opportunities to do it, but those are tough ones because the guys are kind of on their own in that situation because we're coming out of a timeout. We're down by 2. We're drawing up a play. If we score, we're not fouling. And if there's a differential, we're not fouling. And the reason you call timeout there is to try to create a differential. So it's not like in the huddle we're talking about the case of if we're down 2 and there's no differential. So you got to kind of do it on the fly. And these are the types of experiences we've handled really, really well over time. That one we can learn a little bit from, but I'll take that one. But it certainly, we weren't trying to run off that much time.
This game feel like extra, something extra to it. It's feel like to a little bit of a playoff atmosphere, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's 1 of 82. You know, they all are, but it was a heightened game. You know, I thought the crowd did a nice job Like I said, the physicality and how hard both teams played and sustained a level of hard play throughout the game. That was 48 minutes of very, very hard playing basketball, and so that's a great game for both teams to be a part of. Certainly for us to be a part of. We would have liked to win, but like I said, we've gotten some really great experiences over the last 8 days, and I think we're a better team because of it.
Yeah, Coach, what's your assessment on Isaiah through his first 5 games?
Hartenstein?
Yeah.
Good again tonight. He brings a certain layer to our team that is very impactful and that we haven't had. And so the point of attack defense, the pick and roll defense, the rim defense, the defensive rebounding, not only his rebounds, but his blockouts, keep the other guys off the glass and allow guards to clean things up. And then offensively, he's dynamic as a 5-man, great screen setter, great pocket player, great finisher, great offensive rebounder. So checks a ton of boxes. He's a great player, but a player that can gain more chemistry with our team and that can improve some of his fundamentals. I mean, he's not a finished product, and he's somebody that's got runway to improve. He's still a young player. I think he's 26 or 27. And so we're obviously really excited about him, but he's gotten off to a great start.
What do you think was he able to kind of do defensively against Shai Gilegous?
Hartenstein? Yeah, I mean, similar to the whole week with Sabonis and with Davis, he gives you kind of a single coverage option, whereas in the past, those are players that we would typically create a pretty heavy crowd and create a lot of pressure, which can uptick your turnovers, obviously, but also put you in a lot of rotation and get you scrambled on the glass. And so both have trade-offs, but we have the option to single cover them, and we did for most of the night tonight with him.
We're at the 20-game mark now. What stands out to you about your team at this point?
I think it's a good block of games. I think we're better now than we were at the beginning of the season. Through some of the experiences we've had, we have a lot we can improve on both ends of the floor. But I think the guys have brought the type of professionalism and consistency and spirit that allows you to grow through an 82-game season, and they've always done that, but they have started off this season in that way as well.